Hey friends, this is Reverend Jerry, the People's Priest, aka Father Jerry, and today I am coming to you with your Monday Musings. One of my favorite things to remind people is to develop a habit of understanding how you talk to yourself inside your head. You know, when we're working or hanging out with people or doing stuff in our day-to-day life, like particularly when you're up in the morning and you're having your coffee and maybe you're sitting down and just, nobody's awake yet, or, people are gone, whatever it might be, and you're just sitting with yourself. You begin to start to notice what your thoughts are and what you are saying to yourself. And in developing that awareness, you can begin to start to think, how can my inner voice be an inner voice of delight? One that affirms and brings about a positive image of myself. And it's not really just necessarily about having, a high self-esteem, although that is important for overall health as a human being. It's about developing an ability to internalize what I mention a lot on this podcast, that you and I are made as the beloved children of God in the image and likeness of God. And therefore, we should automatically, by default, delight in ourselves. And that's really hard for us. We don't realize how often we speak internally to ourselves in a negative way. When you're at home, try this exercise. In the morning or right before you go to bed, or maybe even right before you're going out, go in front of a mirror and stand in front of the mirror, and within a split second, I guarantee you will already start saying something about yourself instinctively. And most likely, especially if you are a person who comes from a targeted community, the very first thought you have of yourself when you see yourself is a negative comment. You might think, oh, my hair looks terrible, or this outfit is not what I thought it was going to be. I thought it would look better on me. Whatever it might be, I can almost guarantee it'll be a negative thing, because we are taught to see ourselves in a negative way in our society. And instead of cultivating that truth that we are the beloved children of God, made in the image and likeness of God, therefore we should delight in ourselves. So whenever you look at yourself in the mirror, I want you to actively cultivate this week the ability to internalize delight, internalize loving yourself and seeing yourself as the beloved child of God. The scripture says that we are the apple of God's eye. So why don't you do that for yourself? Be the apple for yourself in your own eye, and cultivate that positive self-view, so that when you go into the world, you have more of an ability to have a compassion for other people who are around you, and to be able to actively vocalize affirmations for those who you're around. And actually, it would come in handy too when you're around people who maybe get on your nerves, because then that's a good habit that you can start actively pursuing and pushing onto other people. And ultimately, there'll be a world filled with more positive people, which I think is great all around. So this week, dear friends, remember that life is short and we do not have much time to gladden the hearts of those who journey with us. So be swift to love, make haste to be kind. And each day, when you get up and when you go to bed, look at yourself in the mirror and cultivate that inner voice of delight.
Monday Musings is a weekly reflection series brought to you by Reverend Jerry Maynard, the People's Priest, and produced by C&G Communications. For a small donation of $25 per month, you can be listed as a podcast sponsor. For more information, please visit revjerrymaynard.org and click on the People's Priest podcast under the Media tab.